In the time of the upheavals, divisions and wars our world is facing, we continue our parish reading of Pope Francis's encyclical letter, He Loved Us, Dilexit Nos, on the human and divine love of the heart of Jesus. From Article 78, Recent Teachings of the Magisterial. In numerous ways, Christ's heart has always been present in the history of Christian spirituality. In the scriptures and in the early centuries of the Church's life, it appeared under the image of the Lord's wounded side, as a fountain of grace and a summons to a deep and loving encounter. In the same guise, it has reappeared in the writings of numerous saints, past and present. In recent centuries, this spirituality has gradually taken on the specific form of devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. A number of the popes have spoken in various ways about the heart of Christ and exhorted us to unite ourselves to it. At the end of the 19th century, Leo XIII encouraged us to consecrate ourselves to the Sacred Heart, thus uniting our call to union with Christ and our wonder before the magnificence of His infinite love. Some 30 years later, Pius XI presented this devotion as a summa, as a sum of the experience of Christian faith. Pius XII went on to declare that adoration to the Sacred Heart expresses in an outstanding way a sublime synthesis, the worship we owe to Jesus Christ. More recently, St. John Paul II presented the growth of this devotion in recent centuries as a response to the rise of rigorist and disembodied forms of spirituality that neglected the richness of the Lord's mercy. At the same time, he saw it as a timely summons to resist attempts to create a world that leaves no room for God. Devotion to the Sacred Heart, as it developed in Europe 2 centuries ago, under the impulse of the mystical experiences of Saint Margaret Mary Alacoque, was a response to Jansenist rigor, which ended up disregarding God's infinite mercy. The men and women of the third millennium need the heart of Christ in order to know God and to know themselves. They need it to build the civilization of love. Benedict XVI asked us to recognize in the heart of Christ an intimate and daily presence in our lives. Every person needs a center for his own or her life, a source of truth and goodness to draw upon in the events, situations, and struggles of daily existence. All of us, when we pause in silence, need to feel not only the beating of our own heart, but deeper still, the beating of a trustworthy presence, perceptible with faith's senses and yet much more real, the presence of Christ, the heart of the world. Here ends our reading.